Kevin, hi.
Hi.
You're a professional military, Sabre. I mean, you came here as a very classical military who are ready to help us, Ukrainians, just directly from battlefield.
Але я приїхав 6 років тому.
Ага,
І спочатку працювати з ОБСЄ.
ага. Тобто ти українську вже вчив.
Так. Коли я приїхав, я не знав, я без коріння, я не знав нічого про Україну, про українську історію, але я читав про ці речі і був дуже, я можу сказати, був дуже ясний моральний вибір для мене знати українську мову.
Дякую тобі за це. We will record our interview in English, but next time we will do it in Ukrainian language.
Perfect.
So my first question, it's my tradition about geopolitical situation. My personal estimate that a lot of people now trying to understand what will be the result of meeting Trump with Zelensky, Biden with Zelensky, all this shuttle diplomacy. 2 weeks ago, we had here in Kyiv shuttle diplomacy from Antony Blinken, from Boris Johnson. I met Boris Johnson. Yeah, I have a photo with him. I mean, there's so many diplomatic activity all over the world, and even in global south, from China. And I think our part of even our allies in the Ukrainian side, they think that war will stop soon. I don't believe. I think we should be ready for long-term marathon distance with some kind of, I don't know, any kind of possibilities, expansion of the war outside Ukraine, or focused in Ukraine, where Russia tried to destroy the country.
Intensify their attacks.
How you see this tendency?
I won't comment on expansion or because I don't know much about that. But from the second year, I have been thinking that this war has at least 6 years in it, at least. And a lot of people become very demoralized when they hear that, but it's sort of, these are historical forces. You look at similar wars and you're looking at 4 to 10 years with how they go. And so I do believe that we have to settle in, like you said, for a marathon. The time for a sprint is over. Now we need to start very carefully apportioning our resources and preparing for that long distance.
You said countries similar to this conflict. What kind of conflicts you think? What kind of conflicts we may use to compare? With. It's complicated. However, I know that you're a military, professional military. You served in different countries. I think it's complicated to find a real example, even concerning the technological. Some say that it's first technological war. What is the biggest difference between the previous wars?
So, to start with, I think the war that I compare it to most closely is the Spanish Civil War. Not for any kind of particular political reasons, but because the Spanish Civil War was smaller scale, regional. It wasn't. It was the precursor to obviously a world war, but it was one where you had two very clear sides. You had those sides both receiving aid from external parties, so either the Allies supporting the non-nationalist side and the Germans supporting the nationalist side. And they were each of them were kind of using that war as a test bed for new military technologies. And I think we're seeing something similar here, but that ties into the technological aspect. I think there's many more similarities, but bringing it back to technology, this is one of the big things that a lot of people have been talking about in military circles is the transparent battlefield. And the question has been, how is real-time, even visual scanning of the battlefield going to affect the way that we fight? That's probably the biggest one, because you now have a squad of soldiers, say 10 soldiers, they can have high-quality aerial imaging straight available to them via a commercial drone. That makes a massive difference, totally disruptive difference, I would say, in battlefield tactics, and we're actually we're still adjusting to it. Many of the principles, the fundamental principles, remain the same. You still want to surprise your enemy, but how you go about doing that is very different now, because you have to think down on this very small scale about